Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with the first episode in what's going to be a new Let's Play of an old favorite, Battle Brothers. So, we haven't played Battle Brothers since the 1.0 release, and before that, the beta, but I have hundreds of videos of Battle Brothers up on the channel. But it's been a really long time, and so I figured we would revisit it. I was talking with somebody about the DLC and whether it was worth picking up, and I actually never got around to buying it or playing it, so I went ahead and I purchased it. I'm talking about the Beast and Exploration DLC. The Lindworm DLC was free, but it adds quite a bit of content. So a few things such as like armor attachments, crafting. There's new legendary locations and items to go with it. So there's quite a bit of content, and I was actually very curious to try it out for myself. So this is going to be one of the new Let's Plays on the channel. It's not going to take the place of anything. I'm trying to kind of fill space back in so that we're not just doing RimWorld all the time. But we are still going to do plenty of RimWorld, so don't worry about that. Anyways, if you are interested in this game and you want more content for it, A, stick around because we're going to be playing this quite a bit, and B, feel free to go back and watch all the older videos. I think I have like 100 plus videos for the beta and probably 100 plus videos for the 1.0 release as well. Granted, my earlier videos, older microphone, the sound quality is not going to be as great, but it is what it is. So let's do a new campaign. Oh, I do like that banner. Let's see if there's any new ones. God, it's been so long. I recognize a few of these though. Let's see. I actually really like that first one. Those are kind of nice too. Sure. Let's go with the Ferrymen. I think that fits this pretty well. They're ferrying souls to the afterlife, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So, late game crisis. I don't recall if we've seen them all yet. This one basically devolves into wars between all the major noble houses, and you eventually have to pick a side. I quite like this one because you end up fighting humans at the end, and all of their gear is usable. The Greenskin Invasion is exactly what it sounds like. Orcs and goblins everywhere. Primarily orcs, I believe. Pretty interesting though, because the orcs will like besiege towns and they can actually destroy them. And then the Undead Scourge is a combination of a lot of different enemy types, including all the zombies and God, I can't remember all their names now. But also there's the that Legion of the Dead or whatever. So yeah, let's go with random. No, I haven't done war yet. I know, I'm fairly certain I haven't done war yet, but I know for a fact we've done Undead Scourge, and I feel like we may have done the Greenskin Invasion. But I feel like if there's one that we haven't done, it was this one. So let's do that. Map seed is this if you want to play on the same map as me. And we'll do permanent destruction. Sure, yeah. Okay, so there we go. Right. There's a lot more difficulty options now. I'm just going to set everything in the middle. I've tried playing expert before. It's pretty rough. And since I haven't played in so long, I don't think that's very advised. I don't know if the game's as hard as it was before. I probably should go back to beginner, realistically, but we'll do middle on everything, and I'm not going to do Iron Man mode because it's just too inconvenient for Let's Plays. It can, ruin a Let's Play if I lose an episode or something and can't go back. So I think that's us. Let's go for it. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hoggart the Weasel and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. An ambush. Some joke about horses cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of your men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. A harried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain. A last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster slowly rise again. To the end. So they haven't changed the beginning, apparently. Hoggart the Weasel is still around. Let's kill him. Well, actually, if you've played this before, you know you can't. At least not in this battle. So, who are our starting 3 going to be? It looks like we have Randolph, Leonard, and Leif. Okay, and there's the captain getting his throat cut. Right, so there goes Hoggart. He's going to flee. Let's put a bolt into our friend with the pitchfork here. Because we have very little chance to hit the thug behind him. In fact, we may hit him by accident if we try anyways. So that's our best target. And damn, did we get lucky. So we put a bolt in him. Let's see. That's going to prevent me from attacking. I may be better off falling back and protecting my crossbowman. Because this guy's going to come for him. But if I engage first, this guy doesn't get a swing, and so there's really no point. Well, you know what? Here's what we can do. So I'll leave you just out of reach of him, I think, and the spearman can close. He has a shield. And we'll lock him into combat here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so he's going to take a swing, but we've got pretty good defense there. Ooh, he still got through. Hoggart's going to continue to flee. I don't think there's any way to catch him, to be honest. Let's move you straight in and have you take a swing. Almost a kill there. If I move you to there, we can fire without risking friendly fire. And we missed anyways, so can Randolph finish it with a stab? Almost. What about one more? There it is, okay. So we got through that pretty clean. Randolph took a hit, but otherwise everybody else was fine. What did we loot? We got the pitchfork and we got the flail. It's not too bad. Would have been nice to get some armor out of that, but the pitchfork is a pretty solid pickup. Okay, so you're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades and in its wake you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft. Your chest heaves, pain for breath, everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men. That bastard Hoggart did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Leonard who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. You turn to him and to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Leif joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Then Randolph. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Helvik to collect our pay. The Weasel's men are slain after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see to that wound before we lose you too. Wouldn't want to leave Leif in charge, right? So be it. Okay, so we need to return to Helvik to get paid. Helvik's down here. Let's actually survey our map. You know, that's funny. This actually looks eerily similar to the last map that we played in 1.0. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, we got to return to Helvik. So, let's do that. And I've got a sneaking suspicion I know what we're going to have to do next, because I think it's exactly the same as it was before. So, we'll collect our pay. They're going to offer us a bounty on Hoggart the Weasel once more, and we're going to take it because revenge. But before we do that, they're going to ask us to hire a few more characters. Alright, so what a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Helvik. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Ike the merchant, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine, while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wounds. A pin pierces your side, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. Ike the merchant sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hoggart. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Ike the merchant hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it's a shame that Hoggart still lives. Well, we expect to be paid. The merchant gasps. Well, naturally, 400 crowns as agreed upon. He gestures toward a servant who rushes to your side with the pay in hand. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like you to end the headache that is Hoggart once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course, another 400 crowns, shall we say? Leonard scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Randolph stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we will rebuild it. Without the ferrymen, Leonard would drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets, and Leaf, by the gods we all know he'd go chasing the womenfolk until one stove his rotten head in. We need the ferrymen, it's all we have. What do you say, Captain? Leonard burps and raises his cup to you. Leaf playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard, Hoggart or not, it's up to you, Captain. Yeah, we have unfinished business. I like doing this quest, getting revenge. Ike the merchant claps his hands in satisfaction. Excellent. My little birds will need some time to find where Hoggart is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies so that you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Ike the merchant's house and stand on the outskirts of Helvik, Randolph seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. Figure we can find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Bodunk town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life. Or we could travel to Saddleburg in the southwest. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there. Alright, well, we'll figure it out. Okay, so into Helvik, and let's see. I do initially like hiring just the cheapest people that you can come by. So, unfortunately, it looks like their traits are hidden now. I don't recall if that's how it was before, but day tailors typically aren't bad. Right, so I think the way I was judging this before is their hiring fee is usually more indicative of the equipment that they have, whereas the daily wage is generally more indicative of how good their skills are. So you can kind of assume that somebody like Sigmar here, because he doesn't have a weapon, he's fairly inexpensive for hiring. He's also got just rags on. But if you look at his wage, he's almost twice as much as Volkart here, indicating that he may very well be significantly better as a fighter. So I think Sigmar is a definite yes. We've got weapons that we can give to him, so that's not a problem. Interesting that we can try him out. I've never done that before. I don't think that wasn't even an option before, so let's try him out. Okay, that cost me a bit of money. But we find out that he's quick, so plus 10 to initiative. Yeah, definitely, we'll take him. Right. So we have Rollo the Quick. I'm kind of tempted to just take those 4. Because the amount I'm spending to try them out, it really should tell you how much that costs. Oh, okay, there it is. Tryout fee, 38. It's not that much more in the grand scheme of things to just hire these guys outright. So I think I'll do that, because we just need bodies right now. So we'll take Volkart. We'll take Rollo. That gets us up to 6. I may take Ewald too, but he doesn't look like he's particularly good. Excuse me. Alright, Sigmar. You are... you don't have a whole lot of potential. I think I'm trying to remember the star system. I'll have to go back and revisit how that works. But I think that indicates how quickly you gain experience. Or level up that skill, essentially. And so the people with stars on certain skills will level up those faster. Let's see, he's all about range defense, which isn't bad, but it's not super useful either. Alright, well, we've got 3 bodies. I'll think about you. Hank the Wild Man is interesting because he's going to be a pretty damn good fighter, but he's awfully expensive, and I don't know that I can afford that right now. Let's see what the marketplace has. Even like rags and stuff are better than nothing. I do like pitchforks, so let's grab that. Spears and shields are also pretty useful. And any headgear that you can get your hands on, you want to, because an exposed head is going to be a damaged head. You want at least something to soak a little bit of the damage to avoid, you know, one-shot kills and stuff like that. We can also try to grab ourselves another archer. Let's allocate this stuff first. I think I'll take that as well, because that's decent armor at this stage, and it's fairly inexpensive because it's so damaged. So yeah, let's go with that. Allocate it, and then we'll revisit this. So, God, you guys are all pretty terrible. He's got some potential for ranged combat, but right now he's a fairly decent melee fighter, so I think I'm just gonna roll with that. Let's see. Yeah, that's all fine, I suppose. You are sort of a defensive specialist. I like to go spear and shield for those types. So we'll give him that. His tunic is fine for now, so I'll just give him a hood. You are all about ranged defense. I think somebody with really high range defense would be good as like a two-hander, because he won't necessarily need the benefit of a shield if we really put points into that. So I think I'll give him the pitchfork. And he's going to be a little bit lighter armored than the rest, I think. And then you can have this. And I guess I can give you a pitchfork too, and that's not a terrible start. You know what? If you're getting the better armor, I feel like he should have the headgear. So we'll do that. The flail's not a bad weapon, so I'll hold on to it, but these knives aren't super useful. You have a backup, right? Okay. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Is this sackcloth better than what you're wearing? It's the same. Okay. Fair enough. So is there anything else that we need? We'll get rid of those. Take what we can get for it. You know what? I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell it. I would like more bandages. Let's grab, I think, one for everybody, or at least as close as we can get. And do I want to throw 200 at some javelins? Having a little bit more range would be nice, but I think we'll just stick with what we've got for now. Okay. And there's also a weaponsmith, but we can't afford anything that they sell. Actually, they've changed up the inventories in here. It's a lot more reasonable. I mean, still out of our price range for a lot of this stuff, but it used to be a lot worse. I don't recall the throwing spear. Okay, so it's basically like a pila. Or pilum, and I think you only get to toss one of them? I don't know, ranged weapons normally have like an ammunition count. This one doesn't, so is it just the one? Or is it something that you can use as a spear and then you eventually can throw it, but then it's gone? I don't know. I'll have to see, but I'm not going to risk that now. It's a little early for me testing stuff. Right, so it wanted me to visit that town as well, so let's go do that. Although, I don't think we're going to do much in the way of recruitment there. We will look at the gear and see if we can maybe upgrade things a little bit better than what they currently are. If there's inexpensive people there that look like they might be worth bringing on, then we'll definitely consider it though. So, as Saddleburg's skyline appears on the horizon, Leif seeks a word with you. Never been to Saddleburg before, but I've been around ones that look a lot like it. Cities like these are great for selling goods, as all these prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost everything you need, too. Keep an eye out for bargains, and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. Leonard sees fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. If there's a good tavern, I say that's where we should go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. God knows we earned it. Leif shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into town. You say that even when you're already drunk. Okay, so they're just letting us know that, there's merchants here and taverns where we can raise morale if we need to. Alright. First of all, let's see who's available for hire. We have Anton Bricklayer. Magnus looks like he might actually be pretty decent. Let's give him the old tryout. Bloodthirsty. That can actually be really useful. So all kills are fatalities, meaning that he doesn't just kill people, he kind of butchers them when they die, like he'll behead them or something graphic. And that can really, really hurt enemy morale, so it's actually pretty nice to have. I think we'll grab him. Hopefully he's a decent fighter as well. I think he's the only one worth picking up here. Okay, so let's check their marketplace again. Any headgear that we can get our hands on? There's also a shield and another spear. And some better clothing. Let's take the clothing, because we've got people in rags right now. We'll take the hat as well. What is this? Black paint. Oh, right, so we can paint stuff now. There's like crafting and modifying and whatnot, which we'll get into later. Right, so you are all about melee. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna take this from you and give it to him, I think. Actually, since you're a ranged combatant, I'm gonna borrow this and give you slightly weaker armor and pass that forward. Okay, so we got you out of the sackcloth. Sigmar, I'm gonna give you, are these the same? 20, 30, no. You can have that then. And Volkart, you can have the red tunic. I am gonna borrow this though. If you're not fighting on the front lines, here, you can have the straw hat. Magnus is gonna get the hood. Okay, so the question is, what do we equip him with? They did have a shield and a spear available. The way I like to run my front line, and I don't know if this is like optimal anymore or if it ever was, but I like to have alternating like shield and spear on either flank and then every other person, because with the spear wall you can kind of cover the whole front if you do that. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have like an axe, but that's quite expensive. Maybe I should get a bludgeon instead. I should grab the shield though, we will need it. It's just, do I want to throw that much money at a weapon this early? The bludgeon does less damage, but it can stun. It's also way less effective against armor. Or there's the spear, good old spear. So, how many spearmen do we have right now? We have 2. I guess a third wouldn't hurt. So, let's do that. Early on, spears are very good. They lose effectiveness later when you start dealing with heavier armor, but for now, these are actually going to be pretty helpful. So we'll roll with that. Let's redistribute our group a bit as well. So I want these guys in the back line, like so, and we'll do something like that, I think. Or I guess we can shift it left, I don't know. It's not going to be perfectly centered, because obviously we've got an odd number of guys. But that'll work for now. And I think that'll be it for us today. So now we got to return to Helvik and pick up our mission. Which, we already know what it is, we just have to check back in before we can actually do it. And I think we'll end the episode after we've tracked down Hoggart and defeated him. It'll be a nice, fulfilling episode 1, and then we can go about our own... Oh! Those are new. Webnects. Oh, are they little spider guys? Yeah, those weren't in the game last time I played. Okay. So Ike the Merchant is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who damn near killed you with the fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Ike the Merchant claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got a hold of one of Hoggart's former men. My good friend here had a nice little talk with the man, and now I know where Hoggart's licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he's about to excise. The brigand known as Hoggart is hiding in a small hut on the plains to the southeast of here. Based upon my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hoggart knows the ferrymen are on his heels and will have gathered more men since the last time you met him. Nodding, Ike waves you off. Good luck, Sellsword. Alright, we'll return with his head. Okay, so nothing doing here. We just need to head on down to meet with our old friend. Okay, so there's a few brigand thugs and a brigand poacher. So a few, I used to know the ranges of these really well. A few I think is 3 to 4, maybe 5, and then a brigand poacher is obviously just the one. So they have one archer, and then probably less men overall than we do, but they're just thugs with, you know, very rudimentary weapons. Okay, so here we are. Is Hoggart the poacher himself? I don't know, but I don't know if I want to rush them or not. Let's stand fast for now. You can fire. Oh, they're just out of range, damn it. Okay, let's wait then. I should have had him wait too. I'm still kind of getting the feel for this game again. So I'd like to advance one tile. That's Hoggart there. Okay, so they've got, yeah, 5 total. I don't know why I am ignoring that. Do I want a shield wall? Or do I want a spear wall? Let's go spear wall. Although, last time I played, the AI wasn't so dumb that they would charge into it like they used to. So you can't really take advantage of it quite the same way anymore. Let's get you into melee combat so that you're harder to shoot at and start swinging like, oh my god. Alright, well that worked quite well. Let's put you in front of him and spear wall so that if they want to shoot, they're going to have a harder time. We'll put you there and do the same. You can fire 48 or 21. Well, take the 48. And reload. I don't want you getting too much into the thick of things. And he could engage you there, so only advance 1. And what's Hoggart gonna do? He's gonna hang back. So we'll probably end up dealing with all of his cronies first. Alright, they're gonna hold position, so let's let our backline guys just hang out there for now. We'll advance the frontline guys first. If you do that, you won't be able to swing, so don't do that. That's tricky. Yeah, just hold off for now. I think I want you here. So we'll lock him down, and these two can swing over here to engage that guy. Alright, so they're engaged with one another. You can go ahead and fire there. Still nothing. Hopefully you can hold it down with your shield. I need you to go there and then here. Stay out of his attack zone, if you don't mind. So that locks him down. And then we'll get you maybe nestled in between. Yeah, don't do that. See, you really need to manually find their path because they will try to run through enemy attack zones, and so he'll take a swing there if I just let that happen. So what I need to do is that. It's not going to let me. Then there? Nope. Okay, do that. Then that. Still worked. Okay, and then you can shift into here and you'll be able to help out with that guy. I need to get our axeman in right there and you can come here and help out with him. Okay, so there we go. It's a pretty good engagement we've got going on. They are going to get some swings at us, but we've got these pitchforks that can help by stabbing over the top, shredding armor like so. Do need to keep our fatigue in mind because we are all newbies here. 63. I think it's more important that we get this guy out of the way because then is that Leonard with the axe? It's gonna take me a while to learn everybody's name. So yeah, let's clear him out of the way so that we can get our two-hander in there to deal with his shield and armor. Oh, we almost got him. Let's see. I need you to maneuver out to there. That should give you a clean shot. 37, 43. You know what? Perfect. That worked out pretty well. Alright, get your shield up because he's going to come in swinging. See if you can't get that guy off the field. Perfect. That lets you jump in. Get rid of his shield if you don't mind. Come on, you guys. I need you to hold fast and deal with this guy quick. If we can surround Hoggart, we'll be in great shape. Coward that he is, he's got decent equipment and decent skills, so... Okay, that guy's done. He's just going to try to flee. So, as long as I keep him in somebody's attack zone, I don't even need to worry about engaging him. Okay, if you hop over, you can help. Nice. Oh, he's almost dead. And his armor is actually in pretty good shape. We might be able to recover that. Come on, get him in the head. I really hope that didn't destroy his armor. And feel free to jump in there. Again, he's going to try to run away, and so we don't even need to attack. I guess you may as well. There it is. Alright, we got 2 level ups. Oh, 3. All of our original characters leveled up. Nice. What did we get for loot? We did recover his armor. Nice. It looks like we got his sword as well, and a shield. Not necessarily his shield. As well as a bow and some arrows. So that worked out pretty well for us, actually. Hoggart lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered into a grotesque and panicked pose. He didn't weasel his way out of this one. You put a boot on his corpse and look over to your men. For the company, for all the men who've fallen. Leaf spits on the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Helvik. Time to get paid. Okay, so let's look quickly at our roster here and do our level ups. So Randolph, right, we have to allocate skills first and then choose a perk. I'm gonna have to relearn all the perk builds and stuff. Between episodes, I'm gonna go and look at the wikis and stuff, but for now, I'll just pick one based on what I think is best. So Randolph. You're one of our original 3. It looks like your main potential is in hit points, fatigue, and resolve. So you're not really geared toward any one particular style of combat. Well, health and fatigue are always nice. Fatigue especially, because early on they just can't do anything, and if you start putting armor on them, it gets so much worse. So we'll do that. I wonder if it's worth trying to turn him into an archer. He's actually started out with decent range skill. I'll take the hit points, because keeping people alive is nice as well. And then resolve, yeah, let's just go with that for now. Playing it kind of safe. And then we're choosing a perk. So I like to go student early. The reason I like to go with student is because obviously an additional 20 experience every battle makes them level up quicker. So if you take it early, you maximize that. And then it's not necessarily wasted as a perk at the end, because when you max level, at least is how it used to work, and it, based on this tooltip, I think it still works that way. When you hit max level, it's given back to you and you can reallocate it to something different. So it's actually really, really good. Obviously there's stuff that has more immediate utility, but I think playing the long game, student is the best first choice. Leonard, let's go ahead and level you up. Definitely melee skill for you. I'd like to get you some fatigue, but a +2 is kind of bad. So let's get you some health. And... melee defense? You don't have a shield, so that is going to be important. But resolve is also important, because we don't need people breaking. If they break, we're screwed. So let's do that. Especially with one of our original 3. We want him standing and fight. So we'll go student there as well. And then last but not least, we have Leif. I'll do this first, but he's going to have student too. So we'll get you some range skill there, so you might actually hit some stuff. And then I think we'll go fatigue and resolve. And student once more. Okay. Stash. You get the chainmail, because not only did you get the kill, but you destroyed his shield. And given that you don't have a shield of your own, you need the best armor available. You, Rollo, can have his surcoat, since you're fighting on the front line. And let's see, that linen tunic is probably no better than anything else, yeah. I'm going to give you this painted shield, just because I like having colors that makes people easier to distinguish. And do I want to give somebody that sword? At some point, I probably will, because falchions are actually quite good in this game. But for now, I'm just going to leave it in our inventory, because I need to see who we're going to be adding to this front line. But for now, that's good. And I actually meant to give them bandages. Is it that slot? No, it's this slot. You should have a bandage. You should have a bandage. Actually, I should probably give the backline guys bandages over the frontline guys. Just because the frontline guys typically never get to use them. They can't use bandages while they're engaged in combat, so it's easier for somebody in the backline to typically handle that business. But we'll try to get everybody one just to be safe. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I will probably return to Helvik between episodes, or maybe I'll wait right outside of it to start the next episode so that you guys can see the dialogue if you haven't seen it before. I will be taking names for characters, so yeah, we can still rename them. Names and titles, lore friendly only, please. Don't give me like screen names. Characters that could exist in this universe, so like Rollo the Quick, or I don't know, what are these other guys? Randolph. Just medieval sounding names and titles and stuff like that. And yeah. So that's where we'll leave it for now. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to this series as much as I am. I'm really excited about everything that this DLC adds. In the previous iterations of the game, it was difficult to put together like a cohesive company because it was hard to get your hands on like uniform equipment. And so now that they've added like the painting stuff, I think it's going to make it much easier for us to actually put together a company that looks organized, which I'm very excited about. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Battle Brothers with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.